Mr. Busy. What would happen if Mr. Busy went to a picnic with Mr. Slow?
Let's just go started. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Good.
I'm gonna read this book for you. And then this book is Mr. Busy. Mr. Busy by Roger Hargreaves. There has been anybody quite like Mr. Busy. He could do things 10 times as fast as you or I could. You or I could. For instance, if he was reading this book, he'd have finished it by now. He lived in a very busy-looking house which he's built himself. As you can see, it has lots of doors and windows, and do you know what it was called? A weekend cottage. Do you know why? Because that's how long it took him to build it. One fine summer morning, Mr. Busy was up and about bright early at 6 o'clock. He jumped out of the bed and had a bath and cleaned his teeth and cooked his breakfast and ate his breakfast and read the paper and washed up and made his bed and cleaned the house from top to bottom, which time it was 7 o'clock. Mr. Busy. Now, next door to Mr. Busy lived someone who wasn't quite such a busy person. In fact, a very unbusy person, Mr. Slow. If he was reading this book, he'd read it like this. He'd read it like this. He'll be still being on first page. And that fine summer morning at 7:05, when Mr. Busy knocked at his door, Mr. Slow was fast asleep in bed. He'd gone to bed an afternoon nap the day before, and someone hadn't woke up until he heard Mr. Busy knocking at his door. "Who's that knocking at my door?" called the dancer. "Good morning," cried Mr. Busy. "Can I come in?" And without waiting for an answer, he went inside. "Where are you?" he called. Upstairs." Came down, Slow replied. So Mr. Busy went upstairs, 2 at a time. "Good heavens," he said. "You're still in bed." And he made Mr. Slow get up and made his bed for him and cooked his breakfast for him. He cleaned his house for him. Poor Mr. Slow. He hated being rushed and fussed. "Right," said Mr. Busy briskly. "It's a fine day. Let's go for a picnic." Mr. Slow pulled a face. "I don't like picnics," he complained. "Nonsense," replied Mr. Busy. I bustled himself around Mr. Slow's kitchen, making up a picnic for 2 of them. It took him a minute and a half. "Right," he cried when he finished. "Off we go," and blasted Mr. Slow out of his front door, and off they sat. As you can imagine, Mr. Busy walks extremely quick. And as you can imagine, Mr. Slow doesn't, so by the time Mr. Busy has walked a mile, do you know how far Mr. Slow had walked? To his own garden gate. Mr. Busy hurried back. Come on, he cried impatiently. Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Replied Mr. Slow. Impossible. Oh, all right, said Mr. Busy. We'll have a picnic in your garden. Wait a minute, though, he added. The grass needs cutting. And he rushed back to the weekend cottage and rushed back again with his lawnmower and rushed down, cutting Mr. Slow's lawn. It took him 2.5 minutes. It would have taken him 2 minutes, but Ed had mile around Mr. Slow couldn't get out of the way in time. Right, cried Mr. Busy. Picnic time. And together, a fine summer day, they had a fine picnic. Well, actually, Mr. Busy had a thinner picnic than Mr. Slow because he ate more quickly and had most of the food. Mr. Busy stretched out on the grass. That was fun, he said. I like picnics. You do, I don't, said Mr. Slow. Tell you what, went on Mr. Busy, ignoring. Tomorrow we will go on a proper picnic out in the country. Mr. Slow pulled a fit, and when Mr. Busy ordered to do that and get you out into the country, I have called you for earlier than this morning. Mr. Slow pulled another phrase. See you tomorrow then, said Mr. Busy, and went home, cleaned his house from the bottom to top. The following morning, Mr. Busy jumped out of bed, 5 o'clock, and had a bath, and cleaned his teeth, and cooked his breakfast, and ate his breakfast, and read the paper, and washed up, and made his bed, and cleaned his house top to bottom, by which time it was 6 o'clock when he knocked on Mr. Slow's front door. Come on, he cried, and time to be up and about picnic day. No reply. Come on, Mr. Busy cried again. No reply. Mr. Busy went inside and went upstairs, the 3 at a time, and into Mr. Slow's bedroom, expecting to find him in bed, but he wasn't. And he wasn't anywhere upstairs, and he wasn't anywhere downstairs. Bother, said Mr. Busy. I wonder where he's got to. Mr. Slow had got under to his bed, hiding. He didn't want to go on any picnic, not tea. Bother, said Mr. Busy again. That means I'll have to go on a picnic on my own. Under his bed, Mr. Slow smiled a slow smile. What a good idea, he said, and went to sleep, snoring very slowly. The end. I got you! I got you!
I'm gonna hop.